Hello and a very good morning. You're watching the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha television with me, Frank Pereira. Let's begin with this morning's headlines. Border flare-ups with Pakistan and China. One BSF Jawan killed in Pak firing at LOC in Rajour. Local commanders of India and China to meet after Indian troops demolish a hut allegedly built by the PLA inside the LAC in Ladakh. Jitan Ram Manjhi's HAMS claims seat-sharing pact for Bihar has been clinched and the party has been offered 20 seats to contest from. BJP yet to confirm reports. Lankan Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe on a 3-day visit to India. He will be calling on Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday. Germany's reversal just ahead of crucial EU meet on migrants in Brussels today. Train services with Austria suspended temporarily as it introduces border controls on refugees. And double cheer for India at the US Open. Sania Mirza and Martina Hingis lift the women's doubles trophy. This after Pace and Hingis won the mixed doubles crown. Well, let's begin this morning with some news from poll-bound Bihar. After much delay and deliberations, the NDA is learned to have struck a seat-sharing pact in Bihar. Former Chief Minister Jitan Ram Manjhi's HAMS has claimed the party has been offered 20 seats to contest from. This development came after a meeting with BJP leaders that went late into the night yesterday. However, there has been no confirmation yet from the BJP on this. Yasmin.
The NDA has learned to have ironed out its differences and clinched a seat-sharing deal for Bihar. The development is reported to have happened after a meeting between Union Minister Anand Kumar and Party General Secretary in charge of Bihar Bhupendra Yadav with Hindustani Awam Morcha secular leader Jitan Ram Manjhi late Sunday night. There is no official confirmation from the BJP on this, but Manjhi has claimed his party has been allotted 20 seats to contest from. All that a BJP leader who was part of the talks said was that all is well and a positive outcome is expected.
एनडीए में कोई नाराज नहीं है, सीटों को लेकर बातचीत चलती रहती है और हम सबका मकसद एक है, नीतीश कुमार जी की सरकार को सत्ता से बेदखल करना.
Manjhi's party has also claimed that apart from the 20 seats for its candidates, 5 of its candidates would contest on BJP symbols. The seat-sharing pact between the BJP, the LJP, the RLSP and the HAMS was held up after Manjhi rejected the offer of contesting from 13 to 15 seats. The party was seeking parity with Ramvilas Paswan's LJP that was tipped to get around 40 seats. The BJP is learned to be wanting to contest from around 160 seats out of the 243, leaving 25 for the RLSP. Though the BJP has a strong Dalit ally in Paswan, it wants Manjhi on its side in the high-stakes state elections to bring in the Mahadalit votes. BJP President Amit Shah will hold a meeting of the Bihar BJP core group to finalize names of candidates today. The party is keen to announce names of its nominees, at least for seats that go to the polls in the first few phases. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, joining me for a chat this morning to talk about the latest development is our correspondent Shyam Sundar. Shyam, as far as the seat sharing of the NDA in Bihar is concerned, it clearly looks like there's no official statement from the BJP, but Jitan Ram Manjhi has come out and said that this seat sharing formula has been worked out. What's the latest on that?
Well, Frank,
well, we seem to have lost the line there with Shyam Sundar. We'll try and reconnect with him to get the latest as far as this development is concerned. But there you have it. No official statement from the BJP as of now. But the BJP's ally, HAMS Chief Jitan Ram Manjhi, has come out and said that the seat-sharing formula has been worked out for Bihar and the NDA alliance is very strong. He said that his party will contest from 20 seats and he's quite happy with that. Earlier, of course, the sticking point was the seat-sharing formula where he was not happy with the 13 to 15 seats that were being offered to his party. Shyam, what's the latest as far as the seat-sharing formula is concerned?
Well, Frank, last night, Mr. Anant Kumar, who is General Secretary and Central Minister and in charge of Bihar elections, he with Bhupendra Yadav and Dharmendra Pradhan, other two in charges of Bihar from BJP, they met Jitan Ram Manjhi, and according to our sources, Jitan Ram Manjhi has agreed and BJP is offering now at least 20 seats to Mr. Jitan Ram Manjhi, and 5 of his candidates will be contesting on BJP's ticket, because Jitan Ram Manjhi was arguing that he would not settle for less than 20 seats, and earlier he was asking for more seats as Ramvilas Paswan's LJP has got in this alliance. He said that he is former chief minister and he has at least 13 sitting MLAs in the state. So, and we have seen when he was chief minister, he was made chief minister by Nitish Kumar, and the way he handled Nitish Kumar, and after getting backing from BJP, the way he came out of the JDU. So he's not a leader whom BJP can take for granted, because Jitan Ram Manjhi knows that in Bihar he is very, very important for BJP's plan and BJP's scheme of things, because he comes from a Mahadalit community, and according to BJP plans, BJP want to show in these elections that this party believes in inclusive politics, and the BJP is trying to take every community and every section of the society with it in Bihar elections.
All right, Shyam Sundar, we'll have to leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining us there with those details on the phone line on the latest as far as the seat-sharing formula for the NDA alliance in Bihar is concerned. Moving on now, a border security officer has been killed in fresh Pakistan firing at the LOC in Jammu and Kashmir. This escalation of violence comes within a day of Pakistan agreeing with India to not fire at border posts during the DG-level meeting. Pakistan fired 282mm mortar bombs which exploded near a forward Indian post, in which one assistant sub-inspector of the BSF got severe splinter injuries who later died. Troops guarding the border on the Indian side also retaliated. Troops guarding Pakistani borders earlier in the day opened fire in Samba district along the international border. Pakistan Rangers fired 3 rounds early on Sunday morning using small weapons. There have been 15 ceasefire violations in September this year. There have also been over 250 violations of the border ceasefire agreement by Pakistan in the year so far, of which 57 were in August. Meanwhile, Indian and Chinese commanders in Ladakh will hold a meeting on Monday amid recent tensions between them in the region. Indian troops have demolished a hut allegedly constructed by the Chinese People's Liberation Army over a kilometer inside the line of actual control. The hut, fitted with a camera and solar panel, is believed to have been set up to record the movement of Indian troops. Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar and Home Minister Rajnath Singh met on Sunday to discuss the issue. Similar intrusions have led to much resentment among the two neighbours in the recent past. Well, moving on now, Sri Lankan Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe will arrive on a 3-day visit to India in the evening today. Wickremesinghe will hold talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi and External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj on Tuesday. On Wednesday, Wickremesinghe is expected to call on President Pranab Mukherjee and meet Finance Minister Arun Jaitley. India is likely to push for an early finalization of the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement with Sri Lanka during the visit. Talks between the two sides are likely to focus on strengthening friendship, regional peace, closer economic ties, cooperation on regional security and the problems faced by fishermen of the two countries. Ahead of Sri Lankan Prime Minister's first foreign visit to India after the recent elections, Sri Lanka will also release 16 Indian fishermen arrested recently for allegedly poaching in Sri Lankan waters as a goodwill gesture. Well, joining me for a chat this morning is former diplomat Ashok Sajanar. Ambassador, good morning. Thanks for joining me on the program. What are the key aspects of this visit of Ranil Wickremesinghe to India? What is it that we need to look out for?
Well, there are a number of issues. Of course, relations between India and Sri Lanka have been good. There were some uncertain times from 2010 till about early this year. But after the after the win of President Maithripala Sirisena earlier this year on the 8th January elections, I think things have started moving in the right direction. And this, as you mentioned yourself, there's the first visit by Ranil Wickremesinghe after having been elected as the Prime Minister of the country last month. So there are a number of issues. One, of course, is the issue of fishermen. I think that's a very, very sensitive issue, and that is number of our fishermen stray into Sri Lankan waters. And this is an issue that needs to be discussed, and we need to find a solution because...
So is that particular issue going to dominate the proceedings or the 3-day visit, do you think?
I think that is one of the issues, but there are a large number of other issues. For instance, the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, which at the moment we have a free trade agreement with Sri Lanka since 2000. That has been working well. It has helped Sri Lanka to expand its exports to India. But of course, there is a huge trade imbalance. So how to settle that, how to work that out, that also needs to be looked at. And I guess the final arrangement that we come up with has to be a win-win solution. The other, of course, is development cooperation in terms of reconciliation. And I'm sure discussions on the 13th Amendment, that is devolution of power to the local Tamil minority in the north of the country. That is another issue that is going to be discussed. India has been extending a great deal of assistance for resettlement of the displaced persons in North Sri Lanka. So 50,000 houses were to be constructed. So far, I think more than 30,000 houses have been done. How does this pan out? In terms of other cooperation, India is helping in putting down railway network in Sri Lanka. So that is going to be there. Of course, in terms of foreign relations, external relations, relations with China, relations with Pakistan.
I was just going to come to that because every time we talk about India and some of its Indian Ocean region neighbors, China is always thrown into the mix. Do you think that this time around too, China is going to be raised, or China is dealing with enough of its problems at the moment, so it's not going to play that big a factor?
No, I think this is an this is an issue that China has been pushing for some time, and as far as Sri Lanka particularly is concerned, for the last 4 years, 2010 onwards, the government of Mahinda Rajapakse had veered in an exaggerated manner towards China, whether it was in terms of defense cooperation. They had got all the defense equipment and armament from China to deal with the insurgency from the Tamil insurgents in the north of the country. And also as far as development of the Hambantota port, the Port City project, etc. So and of course last year the call on Sri Lankan ports by Chinese nuclear submarines. So these are issues of great security ramifications for India. And we have brought it to the Sri Lankans that our security concerns need to be taken cognizance of, need to be respected. So I'm sure that is an issue that will be a part of the discussions between the two prime ministers and also between the foreign minister, because his foreign minister is also coming here. Indeed. But I think we need to take satisfaction from the fact that when Sirisena, the president, Maithripala Sirisena, he was elected, his first visit outside the country was to India. His first visit of the prime minister is to India. So I think there is a reset, there is a balance that is being restored in the relationship.
Indeed. All right. We'll have to leave it at that, Ambassador. Thank you so much for joining us on the program and putting things into perspective for us.
Thank you.
Moving on now, let's take a look at the news and events lined up for the day in our segment, The Day Ahead. Dayanidhi Maran's plea against the cancellation of anticipatory bail in the telephone exchange case will come up for hearing in the Supreme Court today. In August, the court had stayed the Madras High Court's order cancelling bail and had given the CBI 2 weeks to respond to Maran's challenge. The arguments for the quantum of sentence in the 2006 Mumbai train blast case will begin today. A special court on September 11 convicted 12 of the 13 men accused of carrying out the blast that ripped through Mumbai commuter trains in 2006, killing more than 180 people and wounding hundreds. Pahidar Anamat Andolan Samiti convener Hardik Patel will be meeting the Gujarat government in the afternoon today over the Patel's reservation issue. On Sunday, Patel had postponed his reverse Dandi march in Gujarat for the second time as the Chief Minister Anandiben Patel agreed to hold talks with him. The Pahidars have been asking reservation within 27% of the OBC quota. Well, it's time for a short break now, but still to come. 70 sailors from Gujarat stuck in war-torn Yemen MEA shows safe evacuation. That and much more on the other side. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Get live Rajya Sabha session. News, views, reports and analysis you can trust on social media. Subscribe, follow, like Rajya Sabha Television.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha Television. Well, the Ministry of External Affairs has assured that the government is taking steps for the safe evacuation of 70 sailors from the coastal village of Kutch and Jamnagar in Gujarat who are stuck in war-torn Yemen. The sailors are stuck for over 15 days at Kokha port after they had gone to deliver cargo in 5 boats. The Sailor Association of Kutch and Mandvi had appealed to the MEA to shift the stranded sailors to a safer place as they are under constant attack by the warring forces. The incident comes days after 6 Indians were killed after their boat came under Saudi-led airstrikes in Yemen last week. The External Affairs Ministry on Friday had said that the deceased were among 7 Indian nationals who were initially reported missing when 2 boats carrying a total of 21 Indian nationals came under aerial attack. While the Indian death toll in the Mecca crane collapse has risen to 11, the Ministry of External Affairs has informed that 9 more deaths have been confirmed. The incident occurred on Friday at the Grand Mosque in Mecca ahead of the annual Hajj pilgrimage. A total of 115 people lost their lives. Yesterday, 2 Indian women pilgrims who died were identified as Muniza Ahmed from West Bengal and Maumina Ismail from Kerala. The additional 9 people who died were today identified as Muhammad Hanif, Tabassum, Hassan Kharaj, Zafar Sheikh, Zakira Begum, Muhammad Abdul Khader, Fatima Begum, Shamim Bano and Khader B. Among the other injured are 3 each from Maharashtra, Telangana, UP and Madhya Pradesh, 2 each from Delhi and West Bengal and 1 each from Punjab, Bihar and Assam. Moving on to some international news now, EU interior ministers will meet in Brussels today to discuss the ongoing migrant crisis in Europe, the worst since World War II. Member countries will consider the European Commission's relocation proposal for refugees. The proposal to redistribute 120,000 asylum seekers across the bloc, including 54,000 people out of Hungary, the entry point for many migrants coming to the bloc via Turkey and the Balkans, will be discussed. This proposal will follow a previous plan to redistribute 40,000 people claiming asylum in Greece and Italy, which is set to enter into a force today. Countries like Hungary, the Czech Republic, and Romania have already opposed the mandatory quotas proposed by the European Commission. Well, following a huge surge of migrants into the country over the weekend, Germany has reimposed border controls with Austria. The German government has said that the country is at the limit of its capabilities and that it's time for the EU countries to swing into action. Meanwhile, the influx of migrants from Syria and Iraq and other war-torn countries into Europe in search of a better life continues.
In a bid to stem the tide of migrants streaming in from across its borders, Germany, EU's largest country and the most preferred destination for migrants, has temporarily introduced controls on its border with Austria. Train services between both countries have been suspended temporarily.
Ziel dieser Maßnahme ist es, den derzeitigen Zustrom nach Deutschland zu begrenzen und wieder zu einem geordneten Verfahren bei der Einreise zu kommen. Das ist auch aus Sicherheitsgründen dringend erforderlich. Und so sieht es auch der Schengener Grenzkodex ausdrücklich vor.
Announced on the eve of the crucial EU meet on migrant crisis, the move is being seen as a warning shot to other countries in the bloc. It's also an abrupt reversal from Germany's earlier decision to fling open its doors just over a week ago, when it and Austria agreed to allow in thousands of migrants being held back by authorities in Hungary.
Dieser Schritt ist notwendig geworden. Die große Hilfsbereitschaft, die Deutschland in den letzten Wochen gezeigt hat, mit seinen hauptamtlichen Mitarbeitern und insbesondere auch den vielen tausenden ehrenamtlichen Mitarbeitern. Diese Hilfsbereitschaft darf nicht überstrapaziert werden.
But the pressure from Germany on other EU countries seems to have had little impact. Countries like Hungary, Poland, Romania and the Czech Republic refuse to take in any migrants into their country. The Hungarian government has announced it would seal off the frontier with Serbia by Tuesday. The Czech government has also confirmed it would boost border controls with Austria in the coming days. Meanwhile, in Turkey, more than 600 migrants were detained on Sunday as they attempted to set sail to Greece. At least 35 migrants en route to Greece drowned when a boat they were sailing in sank. The dead included young children and a 2-month-old toddler. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, here's a look at some more developments from around the world in our World Wrap. At least 10 people were killed and 50 injured when an explosion occurred after a motorbike hit a rickshaw in the Punjab city of Multan in Pakistan on Sunday. The police said that it appeared that the motorbike had been rigged with explosives. The powerful blast destroyed the rickshaw and other vehicles parked nearby. Buildings close to the incident were also damaged. No group has claimed responsibility for the attack yet. Kurdish militants killed 2 police officers in a car bomb attack on a checkpoint in southeast Turkey on Sunday. The authorities say that it was in retaliation to the clashes between forces and the militants earlier in the day in the city of Diyarbakir. A curfew was imposed in the region. At least 16 people were killed in the clashes. The alleged war crimes during Sri Lanka's final assault on the LTTE will come up once again at the United Nations Human Rights Council today. The US will bring in a resolution supporting a domestic investigation in a sharp reversal from its earlier stand when it insisted on an international probe. The draft has been sponsored by the US and other core group of the countries called Human Rights in Sri Lanka. Its presentation was deferred until this month by UNHRC as a goodwill gesture towards the government of Maithripala Sirisena, who succeeded Mahinda Rajapakse as the president of Sri Lanka in January. With the 69th session of the General Assembly concluding, the President Sam Kutesa will present the text for adoption to be carried forward to the 70th session beginning on September 15. Kutesa had achieved a breakthrough of sorts by circulating a text to UN members that will form the basis for the intergovernmental negotiations on the reform of the UNSC. Once adopted, the text will be the significant basis for member states to begin talks on UNSC reforms. Moving on to some sports news now, and news from the US Open, where reigning world number 1 Novak Djokovic has won the men's singles title. Djokovic defeated world number 2 Roger Federer in 4 sets to clinch the title. He won the match 6-4, 5-7, 6-4, 6-4. This is Djokovic's second US Open title and his 10th Grand Slam overall. This is also his 3rd Grand Slam title of the season. Staying on with news from the US Open now, in a double delight for Indian tennis fans, tennis ace Sania Mirza with her Swiss partner Martina Hingis clinched this year's US Open women's doubles title at the Arthur Ashe Stadium. The top-seeded pair outplayed the 4th-seed team of Casey Delacroix and Yaroslava Shvedova in the finals. That's not all. The pair of Leander Paes and Martina Hingis won the mixed doubles. Here's more.
In a double delight for Indian tennis fans, tennis ace Sania Mirza with her Swiss partner Martina Hingis clinched the US Open women's doubles titles at the Arthur Ashe Stadium.
She sets them up 6-3, 6-3.
Sonia Mirza, Martina Hingis backing up their Wimbledon title. They are
The top-seeded Indo-Swiss team outplayed the fourth-seed team of Casa Delacroix and Yaroslava Shvedova 6-3, 6-3 in the finals that never rose to great heights. Sania Mirza and Martina Hingis played some flawless tennis at the Flushing Meadows. Sania's win capped off a memorable US Open for India, as Leander Paes also won the mixed doubles trophy with Hingis on Friday in a repeat show of the Wimbledon this year.
wait to see if they can continue that magical streak in 20.
I mean, it's been a great year for us, and already when we won Wimbledon, it was, it had already been a great year. I'd got to #1 earlier this year, and then to win that, and then of course to come back and back it up with the US Open. For us, we feel like we're a really solid team, and we in every slam with a chance. So we're so happy to be the top seeds and come through.
Sania was her first Wimbledon title this season, and for me, just all of this is a bonus. And I wouldn't be here without you, everybody. Thank you for making me feel like home.
Kazakhstan, Shvedova and Australia's Delacroix struggled to hold serve, making it too easy for Sania and Hingis. The top seeds did not have to wait much for the next chance, as they broke Delacroix at love to take a 3-1 lead. But the advantage slipped soon, as Sania was broken in the fifth.
It's just, I guess, sticking together as a team, pretty much. We got through a lot of tough matches, and today we came up against some pretty tough opponents. But yeah, it's been a good 2 weeks, and hopefully, like I said, the more we keep playing together, the more we'll continue to improve.
With this title, the pair bagged their second consecutive Grand Slam of the season. This was also Sania's overall 5th title, as she won the US Open women's doubles with Swiss partner Martina Hingis. While in an extraordinary season this year, Hingis won her 5th Grand Slam title, taking her overall number to 20. She won 3 titles with Paes and 2 with Sania. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, time now for some more overnight sports news in our sports beat. Ravi Shastri has been retained as the team director of the Indian cricket team till the 2016 T20 World Cup. Shastri has been given another 7-month extension till the completion of the tournament in April next year. Shastri was appointed as director in August last year and was part of India's semi-final finish in the 50-over World Cup and the recent Test series victory in Sri Lanka. Australia won the 5-match one-day series 3-2 after defeating England by 8 wickets. England's innings couldn't gather momentum as captain Eoin Morgan retired hurt after a head injury and were dismissed for 138 in 33 overs. John Hastings and Mitchell Marsh took 7 wickets between them. In reply, Australia easily chased down the target, with Aaron Finch making an unbeaten 70. Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich maintained their 100% start to the Bundesliga season with victories against Hannover and Augsburg. Pierre-Emerick scored 2 penalties and helped Borussia Dortmund beat Hannover 4-2 and stay on top of the Bundesliga on goal difference ahead of champions Bayern Munich, while Bayern edged past Augsburg 2-1 with a late penalty. Well, that's it on this edition of the Breakfast News. Have a nice day.